We've come here today to talk about the biggest promise I think that the restaurant workers have had in a long time, and that's no tax on tips. And in our case, we mean it. Somebody that I know just copied it, but you know that's not going to happen. If you're a restaurant worker, a bartender, a hospitality worker, a caddy, a barber, a mover, driver of any kind, or anyone else, you rely on a lot of tip income, hopefully a lot. But when I win in November, hopefully we're going to win. We're going to turn our country around. We're going to make America great again. We are going to let you keep 100% of your tip. But he's a very respected person. He's really a very beloved person in many ways. I think. But in fact, Kamala cast the tie-breaking vote to hire 87,000 new IRS agents to go after your tip income. They're going after it in a lot of ways, so I don't know what they're doing now. This has happened with a lot of industries. When we come out with something, they immediately follow. But you know that after the election, if something horrible happened, which is always a possibility, especially the way they cheat. But if something horrible happened, you know that you'd go right back and you'd never see anything about no tax on tips. You know that. We lost two more, and they came back, and they're doing really well. They're doing really well. As you know, we had two people who were so. Yesterday, Javier, they did something that was terrible. It was just found out. They reported that 818,000 jobs were here. They weren't. They were fake. They reported fake jobs. And they were going to announce that after November 5th, the most important day in the history of our country, the election. They were going to report it after, but there was a whistleblower or somebody leaked it. There was a leaker, a friendly leaker, a patriot leaker, leaked it, and that's not a revision. You know, usually they call that a revision, like there's, 10,000 jobs. This is 818. I think it was the biggest number, certainly in memory. 818,000 fake jobs they reported. They don't exist. Total fake job. And this is what we're dealing with. She'll force businesses, big businesses, to leave with all the jobs and everything else, to leave us. Under Kamala, it has been one disaster after another. Take a look at the border. You want to really see a disaster. I was there yesterday. What a disaster. After Kamala cast the tie-breaking votes on the bills that caused the worst inflation in decades, the Harris price hikes have cost the typical Nevada family. And you take a look. So the Nevada family spent $32,000 more under this horrible regime of people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Now Kamala is promising communist price controls on food. Her plan will cause catastrophic inflation, shortages of rationing. The restaurant industry will be obliterated, and I say welcome to 1929. Do you know what 1929 was? You don't want to know, right? United States, you lose all the jobs, all the income, and we're going to end up being a third world country. And in many ways, Kamala is also pledging the largest tax hikes in American history, and Las Vegas hospitality industry would actually never recover from that. It's the largest tax hikes in history. And you heard her words last night. She doesn't talk about that. You notice they talked, I guess she mentioned the Trump name many times, like 19 or 21 or something. She didn't mention the border. She didn't mention inflation. She didn't mention the bad economy. She didn't mention crime. She didn't mention any of the things that she's supposed to be mentioning, but she mentioned Trump 21 times or some crazy thing. And again, we win this state, we win the whole thing, and we're going to turn our country around. So thank you very much. Thanks very much, Javier.